So you wrote down a bunch of goals for this year, you're very ambitious, and you just want to become an amazing artist. But if you're like me, you might also be lazy. You have great ambitions, but you end up procrastinating on your phone or just watch TV or play video games. It is usually around the end of January that all the excitement, the energy, and the motivation we had at the beginning of the year starts to fade out. And we just stop working on our goals, and our goal just becomes just another goal, just like any other year on a piece of paper, without actually progressing or doing anything. And we know that this is happening, but we just see it happen and we accept it and we just let it happen. And next thing we know, December comes around and then we see that we haven't even done anything. And then we repeat the same thing. We have the same goals again and the cycle repeats again. So now it is time to break the cycle. But how can we actually do that? So to begin with, our goals are usually too ambitious and too big when we look at them in isolation. It's very easy to look at them and just feel very stressed out, feel very discouraged, and think that they are unachievable. The only thing that we think about is that this giant mountain that we have to climb. We get stressed and just demotivated and do nothing. So instead, we can have this massive goal in the background, but then break it down into much smaller goals. For example, I want to be able to draw things from imagination in any perspective, like Kim Jong-gi. But that is a very daunting goal. So instead, the goal can be simpler. Start with just learning how to draw the box. Learn to draw the box in perspective, rotate it, then do the cylinder, then combine them together. Move on to simpler objects around the house and draw those in simple shapes in perspective, and then rotate them. Try to draw them from memory. Learn the construction and perspective fundamentals this way. You see, a giant task that seemed very unachievable suddenly becomes a much simpler starting goal, and the stress is just lower. It sounds simple, but it is hard to think this way sometimes because these goals may not feel very exciting. Drawing a box and rotating it is not a really exciting goal. So think of these little goals as steps to your big goal. The big goal can always be in the background and as a reminder, but just work on the smaller goals. Now, this is all great, but I don't have time. We all think that we don't have time, we're busy, we're tired, we come after work or after school and we're tired, we don't have the time or the energy to draw or put in the time to practice, and we're busy. We all think we're the busiest people and we don't have time to do anything else. And I have learned that this feeling to just start and to just get going is usually the biggest thing that are stopping us from doing anything. The feeling that we're too busy, the feeling that we don't have the energy to get going and start is usually the biggest hurdle in, progressing and achieving our goals. But this is what I have found very important and works is whenever I have this feeling, I start taking out the sketchbook and say that I will just draw for 5 minutes. And I usually end up doing it a lot more than that. So just try this. The first step to starting the task is the hardest. You might feel that you don't have the energy or the time to commit an hour or two to drawing. So just commit to 5 minutes. Tell yourself that you will draw for 5 minutes and see how it goes. If after 5 minutes you're tired or don't have the energy to continue, then that's okay and we can stop. But you will be surprised how many times you will turn the 5 minutes into 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour or two. And the more we do this, the more we build that momentum and the more we can continue doing this. And the next thing you know that a few months have passed and these small goals and these small steps have contributed greatly in your progress. So as I said, it's really simple to do two little things. Have smaller goals, smaller tasks that you can work on, and just commit to as little time as you can put for yourself, and you'll be surprised how much time you'll end up putting and how much progress you'll be make over time. Now, with all that being said, it is also important to rest, to take breaks, make time for those video games or TV or anything that you like to do. Doing other things are important too in order not to burn out. And remember to always have fun doing art.